as of right now, insurance is denying our claim. We are trying to talk with the president and with the general manager to see if we can get them to help us fight this case and get insurance to cover it.
Well, hold on. So what I'd like to do, though, is establish some facts. Because what you're saying is it would bend if somebody went over. So we have to make some logical conclusions from that. So what you're insinuating, it sounds like, is that somebody didn't climb over. So,
I don't know.
But it still happens.
Yeah.
Like, what else? If this was your unit and you had a device, how did somebody get in there and you know you didn't? The lock was there with the code. What would you assume?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying y'all are wrong.
I know, but like just think about it from our perspective. If you came to your unit, it was robbed. You put in the code. Either somebody had the code, or somebody climbed over. There is no other way into the unit. Good morning. It's the next morning, and we are making some phone calls. We are going to call up the U-Haul general manager, the police officer that we talked with again. Hopefully, we can find some answers.
To keep our promises with you, we are recording this call.
Thank you for calling U-Haul Moving and Storage and Justin. How can I help you?
Hi, this is Chelsea Stinnett and Casey. We are the ones who are renting that got robbed.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi. So we were told to call and talk with you about the whole situation.
And you'll file a claim with them? Because, like, we can't, I can't do anything other than, pull security camera footage and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, the guy who was there yesterday said that there was another break-in down the row from ours.
Yes, ma'am.
So, and how long ago was that?
Not that long ago, because I know the same officer that came out with y'all yesterday, she's the same one that was dealing with him.
Okay.
well, we didn't consider it at the time, but I'm 100% convinced that they're related.
I mean, it's got to be related.
Because our lock didn't get cut. The door wasn't open. They climbed through the side. The only way to do that is to have gone in through a storage unit. And our storage unit is down the way from theirs, meaning that they probably got to all the rest of the storage units on the row. Meaning that...
Yeah, that would be my guess.
I mean, for what we understand, it was an inside job. It was a guy who owned a storage unit, but he was also assisted by a U-Haul employee. Is that accurate?
From my understanding, it was somebody that rented a storage unit and one of her friends. Is what I've gathered. It wasn't anybody that, worked here.
Ah, okay.
Got it.
All right. Well, not much luck with anything other than trying to file a claim with U-Haul because we have $5,000 of insurance on our stuff in there through U-Haul, but we're not even finding that on the website. So yay for us, more work to do.
Push that to the left. Yep.
Careful, slowly, you're jumping.
How was it the first time when you opened it? Did you notice it as soon as it was down here? All right, we are at a storage unit today to try and go through and document everything that has been taken or damaged. Hopefully it goes well.
I mean, there's nothing well about it.
No. Hopefully it goes fast. Maybe that would be better.
That's better.
I'm back. This is bigger.
Rowan, who is that?
Bigger? Wait, how many are
Who is that? Is that Rowan? Well, so far we have found that we've had a couple computers. We also had, Casey had a, what was it? A Master Zelda sword?
Yeah.
A Master Zelda sword from his childhood that hung over his bed. And we have the plaque for it, but the actual sword is gone, as well as another big cool sword that we got with some of our friends. What else? Our homeschooling box was torn into. And it had a lot of really cool homeschooling, robotic devices.
And nuts and coins and stuff that we learned, math and stuff. And now they're gone.
The robotics stuff was taken. Look. It's just random stuff like this. Look, there's just, and they ripped into bags of clothes. They ripped into a box that said, let's see, what did it say? They ripped into a box that said birthing items and cloth diapers. I don't know what they needed in there, but maybe they were having a baby. All right, well, it was actually quite difficult to film with the kids and just going through everything because we were focused on getting stuff done. But this is, I'll show you. This is what our unit looks like now. They're allowing us to use an empty unit next to ours to kind of sort through everything. So far, this section right here is all the stuff that they went through and took stuff. So we're kind of keeping that separate. Oh, good job, Roro. Anyway, not fun to go through and find all the stuff that people have taken from you. We had a lot of keepsakes that we did find, so that was really nice. But then we found some more keepsakes that are still missing. All right, we are in the car. We're gonna head to a donation place and drop off a few things. And we had some trash that we threw away. And I am tuckered out. We've got a pretty good list of things that were taken, and we are just trying to summate how much the cost is of everything that was taken, because that kind of depends on how we're going to go through insurance and what that looks like. So, yeah. So, anything you want to add?
Dude, I hate this process, man. Just feeling violated like that, going through, finding what somebody came into my place and took, like, that is the worst. I hate that.
Yeah. Oh, and I don't think we told them, but the unit next to ours, so it's like open at the top. Our units have a little bit of space at the top because it's air conditioned, and that's how they chose to ventilate it. And we were actually able to see over into our neighbors, and theirs was ransacked as well. Open boxes torn into, stuff just moved all over. Definitely not like, I don't think someone would just leave a storage unit like that. And there were open, empty boxes. And so, anyway, just awful. I'm pretty positive at this point that they climbed over the top to get into things. And like, we had a shelf right up against the wall, and the other people had a big, like, huge, I don't know, it's like a hallway dresser thing, but it was like taller than us. But it's like a big, like, china cabinet that's really, really tall, and there were footprints on top of that. And so anyway, that to me is just like proof that that they were climbing over the tops of things. And we also found some cuts in the ceiling because it's just like insulation. So anyway, we're pretty sure that other unit that was stolen from, they just climbed over into all the units of that row. They must have been ransacking for months, or at least weeks. Like, I can't imagine them doing that all in one night, several units. I don't know, maybe it was just one day thing, but that's just crazy to me. Like, it should have been caught. So, but we'll see the general manager on Monday to see what else we can figure out, and they have to call all the other people who got robbed, but I'm pretty sure that entire row, all of the storage units got robbed. So it's really, really unfortunate. Well, we picked up some dinner, some barbecue at this joint right behind us, and found this freaking awesome Ninja Warrior park, so we had to stop and play, even though it's a little bit late. It does feel like there's a storm coming, huh? Whoa! Oh, you scared me! Woohoo!
He's pooped again.
Oh my goodness!
You poopy little boy?
It's like 4 times today. Feels good just to play after a long day of work. There goes Papa. Rowan! Jet! Wow, look at you, little boy. Hey. You silly boy. Oh, I think you pooped too.
You're good. That was actually really I'm so dizzy.
You having fun?
Yeah.
Where's Kid? There he is. Hi, baby. You having fun, Kid?
Yeah.
Well, hello. It is a new day, and we are still trying to figure out our storage unit situation. We are stationed about 45 minutes away from it, so we came in to town today to work on that again, and our older kids were actually going to be dropped off at a friend's house for a bit to play, and then we are going to be going to the storage unit, hoping to talk with the president today. The general manager is out sick, but hopefully we'll get to talk with her tomorrow. So as of right now, insurance is denying our claim due to the fact that there wasn't forced entry, because we are almost 100% positive that they climbed over the top into it. They broke into one unit down the row and then climbed over the top to all of our units. And not only, like, Casey was just telling me that he was looking around and there were some units that were just completely open, even in our building, and they're completely closed off. Like, you can't get in there. And so anyway, I am just, like, we're pretty mad. I'm pretty seething inside, and we're just kicking ourselves because when we first looked at the units, we saw that and we were like, I don't know how I feel about that. But we also knew we had the insurance, and we really were like, it is a pretty tight space. Like, it would be a lot of work to do that, right? Well, somebody decided it was worth the effort and did it. So now we're dealing with it. But so we are trying to talk with the president and with the general manager to see if we can get them to help us fight this case and get insurance to cover it. We do have renter's insurance, but we'd have to pay $500 out for a deductible in order for it to be covered. Plus, we've been paying for insurance on our stuff, and this is a robbery, and it should be covered. But they have a clause in there if there's no evidence of forcible entry, then, like, they can't cover it anyway. And so I don't know what we're gonna do, but we're gonna do our best to try and fight it and get it covered, because it really shouldn't have happened in the first place. And anyway, yeah, so, but I think at this point we are definitely gonna be moving storage units, because I just can't even, I don't know, I'm just like, the fact, like, I guess I thought that all of the units were like that there, but now that, like, I'm realizing that it's not, and it was just our row, I'm feeling pretty angry about that, and especially if U-Haul's not going to do anything to help us out. So we'll see how it goes, and see what happens.
And again, I'm going off of, you know, my knowledge of generally, if we do see them going over the top, the metal that is in between these is relatively thin. So regardless of, you know, weight, I mean, it has to generally, I would assume it's probably an adult that would have to, you know, do it.
Right.
That metal bends really easily. I mean, there's nothing to it. I mean, it's just, you know, there's not, when you're dealing with these walls, it's a relatively thin piece of metal. And in the middle, there's no support of the wall really directly in the middle of a panel, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, you got support on the ends and things like that. That metal generally would bend.
Well, there's a unit right here. If you want to come and look up here, there's an actual, I have pictures of it. It's got footprints all over it. It's a big china shelf.
Well, so
Right
hold on.
here.
I think what you're saying is legitimate. It would bend. There is a little bit of a bend up there.
Sure. And I'm not, you know, and again, I'm going off of, I'm not trying to get in, you know, an argument with y'all or anything. I'm just going off of the things that I've seen in my, you know, doing this for 13 years is.
Are you seeing me right here?
Yeah.
How easy it is? Look at this.
Yeah, and again, I'm not
Oh my gosh.
disproving your, you know.
This is ours.
What?
This is our switch case.
Oh, yeah. We had a Switch here and a Wii U.
Oh my gosh, these are all. This is ours. I bought those. For
Lego
Christmas.
Star Wars, Harry Potter.
These are all ours.
Yep.
Well, I would just, if you don't mind, just putting it back. Just we got to make sure. I mean, you know, I'm not saying y'all are wrong, but I don't know what's whose and what's not, and I can't have stuff getting removed from one unit to another. You know, until we can kind of go through and see what's going on.
Yeah, I'm happy to put it back. I can show you proof of my purchase of those.
Well, and then again, I'm not trying to say y'all are wrong in any way, shape, or form. I'm just.
Well, hold on. So what I'd like to do, though, is establish some facts. Because what you're saying is it would bend if somebody went over. So we have to make some logical conclusions from that. So what you're insinuating, it sounds like, is that somebody didn't climb over. So,
I don't know.
well, I mean, let's go with that. So if somebody didn't climb over, our stuff got taken still. So the only conclusion, if somebody didn't climb over and there was no forced entry, is that we would have to do this to our own things. Right?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I'm just from normally what I've gathered. If someone climbs on that metal, it's not very solid.
Sure.
It's not a structural wall. It's
I could climb over right now and not bend.
You know.
So this is the other side. They've got this unit right there, and you can see there's footprints all over that thing. And we had bins. We've taken it down, but we had bins stacked clear up there. It would have been so easy for them to get over and not even have to. I mean, it was up like 2 rungs at the top of this.
Right.
Was up,
I
and
can
they
pull
could
up
have done
the
it.
picture of how it looked.
I want to get a measuring tape and measure that so we can send it off to the insurance guy.
But what we're trying to establish here, somebody got into our unit. That wasn't us. We paid for insurance to cover loss of theft. The insurance is saying, as long as there's not forced entry on the unit, we're not covering it. So we're now out the things, and you guys are saying, well, nobody climbed over. So if nobody climbed over and nobody got in, why is our stuff gone and who's going to cover it?
So what is missing? I mean, like, what items are y'all missing?
So far, the Wii U, a digital piano, a couple of swords. I had a hunting rifle, some nice knives that I'd gotten from my grandpa and my father. We're missing a food sealer.
Vacuum sealer, piano, guitar.
Things
It's
like
all
that.
stuff that would fit in this space that would go over that.
When we
Let me get the
when we put it all
list up.
together, it comes out to roughly about $4,000.
And that's, we haven't even,
When are y'all moving out of the unit?
well, I mean, that's,
Certainly this one, if you can climb over the edges. The rest of these seem to be a bit more secure.
and I mean, like ideally it would obviously be easier for us to leave our stuff here.
Sure.
So we full-time RV, we've got 5 kids, 3 of them we were able to drop off at a friend's house. We haven't been here since January of last year. This is where we keep our stuff, but the rest of our stuff, we have, 400 square feet that we call our home. We travel around the country, we've loving it, been doing it, but like, this is incredibly inconvenient for us to have to come here. Like, this wasn't our plan. We have schedules, we have things like reservations that we're trying to keep to. So having to come and move our whole storage unit is not where I was, expecting to spend our time doing.
Yeah, I understand.
So I would prefer to keep it here, but I just don't feel safe with that. I mean, that door you can walk in without a code. It was obviously robbed. This one was robbed. Another one was robbed down there.
You said you can open that door. I just tried to do it without a code.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, unless they fix it, we told them last night that it was. Obviously, there's stuff gone that we can't ever replace, which is very frustrating because we put our trust in this facility. We had a secure gate code. You had a secure lock on here. We have locks on here. It's like, how does that happen?
Mm-hmm.
How does somebody get in here? So, I mean, I don't imagine that they would ransack their own unit. Maybe they would. Maybe they just hopped over and did ours. I don't know. But it had to be somebody that could get in the building. And we're at a loss now because insurance isn't going to cover our butts, even though we've been paying for it.
Right, and that's kind of what I was more or less kind of alluding to is that, even if I talk to insurance, it's still their decision one way or the other. So I'm willing to, work with y'all and, not, because again, there's no way to 100% prove what really happened at this point.
Yeah.
We can make assumptions either way and do that. I'm willing to work with y'all on, on things and try to come to some kind of, solution for y'all. Y'all's plan is to stay in the unit, like y'all aren't planning on moving out.
I mean, we weren't planning, but I mean, if you guys aren't going to put those all the way up to the ceiling, then I don't want this unit.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you that that if that was what's happened, that's never happened. We didn't build the facility; we bought it 12 years ago, and why they didn't go all the way up on those versus those. Other than I think the ones in the middle are actual support walls for the middle of the building, because they don't have much of the red iron going across the middle like this one does. But anyway, and we can look at finding you another unit that has that if that makes y'all more comfortable. I'm willing, we're willing to do that.
You know.
Much easier.
But I mean, as far as being able to go all the way, I mean, it's just not something we're probably gonna. Because again, it's not. If that's what happened, that's very small. You know, we do everything else to try to keep the facility secure.
But it still happens.
You know.
Like, what else? If this was your unit and you had a device, how did somebody get in here and you know you didn't?
I
The
don't know.
lock was there with the code. What would you assume?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying y'all are wrong.
I know,
just,
but like,
you know,
just think about it from our perspective. If you came to your unit, it was robbed. You put in the code. Either somebody had the code, or somebody climbed over. There is no other way into the unit.
right. I mean, yeah, because I mean, your lock's on it. That's not even a U-Haul lock. That's
That's our lock.
Right.
Yeah. So
And
those
we-
are the
I mean,
only
even
two
if it's a
options. So
U-Haul.
either somebody had the code or they climbed over. Like, and how can they get our code?
right. I mean, they can't. It's a personalized electronic code.
So
That's-
the last option
Yeah.
is then. They climbed
which
over.
means that none of these are totally secure from anybody.
So I understand you're saying it's never happened, but it did happen to us. So I think that it's worth it. And then you have 2 units that it's happened to.
I'm not saying we're not going to do it, and that's what I didn't want to get into a argument or anything with y'all about it. Which trying to work this out with y'all.
I appreciate that.
Because the insurance isn't going to, I mean, the chances of it being overturned are pretty slim to,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just being honest with y'all. That's just how insurances are.
I mean, even if we showed them, because that's what we were like, we can show you proof of how someone climbed over the top.
Well,
I mean, we can try our best. And like I said, I mean, I'm willing to make an agreement with y'all on what an amount, and, we go from there. Or we can try the insurance, and you're not guaranteed to, I can guarantee you an amount right now, and then we can go from there. And either we can do it in the form of free months on storage, or whatever, however you want to do it. I mean, we definitely can get y'all a different unit, and I'd be even willing to pay for movers for y'all to move that to another one of these units. That if we have this, what are these 10x15s? Everyone here, obviously, it's much easier for everybody just to move it down the hall.
Yeah.
I'd be even willing to pay for movers for that to get done, and they can pack it or whatever for y'all, or move it for y'all. Y'all still have to be here because I can't get into the unit enough.
Yeah, absolutely. I would want to be here for sure. That would be wonderful, because that's the other thing that I'm like, we've got 5 little kiddos, and we don't have a team of people around us.
Sure.
I've got one friend here, and so it's like,
Yeah, that'd be helpful.
that would
So
be extremely
I'm willing to do that, and I'd really need to look at some figures, to give y'all. I don't want to, give y'all a low number and insult y'all. So,
I mean, and we still need to do some calculating, but we can give you a calculation of what we believe was lost and the value, like the market value, what it would sell for right now if we were to sell our items. I don't know if that's a fair price.
Or what we buy them at currently.
What we
We'll
buy
have to
them
buy
at
them
early.
new.
Oh yeah.
Some of the things we're not going to rebuy, like I'm not going to rebuy Pokemon cards.
Yeah.
But their value is crazy.
value.
We just met with the president and the general manager, and we were able to come to some sort of arrangement. I hope that will work well. They offered to pay for a moving service to move our stuff to another unit in this same building, which I kind of was like, worried about, but in our current unit, the walls don't go all the way up to the ceiling. In this next unit, it's going to. So, and like, unless somebody's gonna come with the sledgehammer, I'm pretty sure that will be fine, and it will be easier for us to do all of that. So this is what it looks like now. Boop. There's about 12 inches, 10 inches, 12 inches of space there. And in our new unit, it's all the way up to the ceiling, so I feel a lot better about that. It was decent working with the president and the general manager. Let's see, is this the one that they're gonna do? Yeah, so this is our new unit. But you can see that it goes all the way up. Whoops, there we go. Goes all the way up to the ceiling. There's no gap that they can get through up there. So I'm really hoping that that will be safe. I don't know, there's still a part of me that really wants to move our whole storage unit, but unless they bang down the door, all of the stuff that they could have gotten that was pretty valuable, they've gotten, so I think we're gonna go with it. Because it's not a forced entry insurance is going to deny it. And as frustrating as that is, it's like there's not much we can do to fight it. And that's what the president was saying. So he offered us $3,500 just to cover the stuff that was stolen, which, according to our calculations, as it stands right now, we have about $7,000 worth of stuff that was taken. So that's half of the amount, which I don't know. Insurance said it was going to be doing like this depreciating and all that kind of stuff. So we felt like that was a pretty decent offer. But yeah, we're still just kind of feeling, I don't know about it. It's all just like, sure, we got $3,500, but it doesn't take away the feeling of being violated and your stuff being taken. So, but we've got a couple busy days ahead of us. We're going to be moving all of this. They lent us this unit so we could go through our stuff, and all of this into that other empty unit. He is going to pay for a moving service, which will make it possible, because otherwise I was like, I don't know how we're going to do this. We've got one friend in the area, and I think we could have had some other members of our church that we could have called on, but this weekend is a big church gathering. It's our general conference, so a lot of people are busy and have family plans. So we were like, shoot, how is this going to happen? So I'm really grateful for that. I think that will be wonderful to have professional movers come and take care of this stuff. And a lot of the stuff is still in its proper boxes, but there are some stuff that I have to go through, donate, and or put in a new box. So this sucks. So Rowan had Papa sit down on this little Lightning McQueen toy because he wanted to push him.
It's working out.
How's it going, Papa?
Doesn't feel great.
Rowan, you having fun? What do you think, Ro? Rowan! He's not even looking at
Are
me.
you still pushing?
Yeah, he's still pushing. What do you think?
Pappa är färdig, men du får sitta på den. Vill du sitta på den? Nej, okej.
You want me to do it now? How about you push Jet?
Titta, du kan köra jet.
You gonna push Jet? No.
So. Here, all right.
You ready? Okay, here we go.
Oh, yeah, you're doing a better job.
Well, good morning. It is another storage unit day, and I think this might be our last trip, hopefully. Fingers crossed. We did get it sorted out, and we are going to move our stuff into a new unit that the walls go all the way to the ceiling, and U-Haul has hired movers to help us, because obviously we don't have, well, we've got lots of helpers, but we need some bigger helpers. So
they can carry the big stuff over to the other storage unit.
Yep, so they can carry all the big stuff. So mainly, I will be there, obviously supervising the children, and then just supervising everything being transported. Are you gonna help out?
When am I gonna help out?
Well,
I was planning on just playing backgammon.
they're paid, so you could just sit back and be like, do it.
Take that over there.
No, Casey's probably gonna add to the muscle, and make it happen, and then I'll be like making sure nothing else gets broken, I guess. I don't know. But I'm hoping, I'm still like crossing my fingers that we'll find some of the things that we are pretty sure are taken, because here's the thing, like, we're pretty positive where we left our stuff. We had footage of something, so we're able to confirm that, yeah, that's definitely gone. And like some of the stuff wouldn't even fit in boxes, so it was just loose. And so, yeah, those things are definitely gone. But there's some other things that I'm still like, okay, I'm pretty sure it was on this shelf in the front, but we may have shoved it in a box last time we moved it. And so I'm kind of hoping to go through some bins and boxes a little bit as we go through it. Oh, shoot, you know what? I didn't bring any tape to tape anything back up.
Yeah.
Where's the random?
Anyway. So I think the chances are pretty low. I think we've pretty much gone through everything that they were able to reach. So yeah, it's quite still pretty frustrating and sad. So, but we're moving forward, trying to make the best of it. You guys ready to go to the storage unit?
Yeah.
You guys gonna play in the hallways?
Yeah. And there's a little McQueen toy that we can push each other around on.
Yeah, they've been having fun
Get one more stuff.
pulling out some of our toys. No more stuffies.
I only got like 2.
You got plenty.
Grounded.
I still.
Here we is. Cleaning out the storage unit. Kids are playing in the hallway. And we are getting stuff pulled out. All of the littler stuff pulled out so we can get to that big stuff back there. Alright, this is our progress. We've gotten it out of there. Got some movers helping us. Woo! Got lots of work to do.
Is that a mirror?
Yep.
Upside down.
Making good
These
progress.
Are fairly light right here.
Okay, yeah. Let's
There's
just
two
have
in
a
that one.
sight. Yeah, this one is light too. These are
These 3 are light.
this one. Oh yeah, that is light.
Well, geez, that was a lot, but we got it all moved in.
Got her done.
I mean, we're not exactly happy to be in the same building where our stuff got taken, all the memories here of what was taken, but at least we got it into a unit where the walls go up to the ceiling, and it's very unlikely for it to be stolen in that regard. They did have an issue with the door coming in where you could just turn the handle and come in without a code. They fixed that now. So, alright, there's some improvement. Well, I'm not feeling comfortable still, and I don't like giving my money to the same company that pretends that this burglary didn't happen.
Yeah.
But hopefully it won't happen again in this new unit.
Yeah. But
Do I close them?
hang on just a second. But here it is. Here's the final look. I do think it's actually stacked better than what we had it. So I'm grateful for that. Here's all of our crap. Yay. But we're done. Should we go get some lunch?
Yeah!
Woohoo.
I'm starving.
Me too. Whew, it was stressful, but it happened. We got all this stuff in. And I am happy to be in a unit where the walls go all the way to the ceiling, and we're going to have 2 locks on there, and we changed the codes and all the things, so hopefully it should work.
Now we're putting
All right, we're locking her up. Very nice.
Those have you spare the dog here.
So fun.
Yeah. We went on Stinette Wagon.
Stinette wagon. Whew. You ready to go eat some good food?
I'm hungry.
Yeah.
Well, we need to put this on a wagon and get it over.
Oh, that's right. We do need to get. Yay, we're all done.